is lucky enough to have a Fisher Tech robotic lab. Here are some helpful tips for using it. These are the directions for the first project, what is a robot. Up here, it shows you what pieces you need and how many of each piece. Down here, it goes through step by step, and it includes a picture to help you. When you're doing this, you can make a little check mark by the numbers, or you can lay something on top of it so you know where you're at. One word of caution when assembling things together. Please remember these are a pin and groove system. When you go to assemble it, you need to slide it together and then move it to the position you need. Okay, when you're ready to take it apart, slide it apart. It may take some doing. These are not like Legos where you pop them apart. If you pop it apart, it will break off. This is a building block 15 with 4, and as you can see, it has a pin on this side, and on this side, the pin was broken off because somebody tried to snap it apart instead of sliding it. So remember, you slide them together because they're a pin and groove, and then slide it apart. As you can see, there are lots of parts to the Academy of Robotics. What I want to do is bring your attention to these 3 pieces. Some students are having trouble assembling them. This is the hub nut, this is the gear wheel, and this is the flat hub collet. In order to assemble these, you need to pick up the flat hub collet and put it in your hand. Then take the gear wheel, place it on top, just like this, and it will sit down in place. Then you take the hub nut and you attach it and you tighten it down. Remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Then it should look like this. Another thing students are having difficulty with is putting the clip axle on the wheel. I always put it through the flat side. See how that's flat? I push it in this way, and it should stick out the other side. Sometimes you have to use a spacer. So to use the spacer, slide it onto the axle, and then put the axle through the building block 15 with 4. It works a lot easier to do that than it is to try and snap on the spacer after you've connected everything together. The spacer is used to keep the axle in place, so when it's turning, it won't move around. When it moves around, it misaligns the gears, and then your project won't move. Sometimes when you're building a project, some of the pieces may be missing, but as you can see, there are lots of extra pieces. So take a minute, go over to the lab and find the piece you need. The end.